Hello and welcome back to another episode of Buy Now Sell Now Realty TV. I'm Jeff Barnes, owner and managing broker of Buy Now Sell Now Realty here in beautiful Tampa, Florida. Had to pull over to the side of the road, man, get to my stop and give you guys the latest episode. Is Zillow's touring agreement good or bad for realtors? Is Zillow's touring agreement good or bad for realtors? If you hadn't already, or if you're new to the channel, go ahead and mash that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn that bell for notifications. But guys, when I saw this touring agreement, really had a chance to look at it, had a chance to go over it, and then I got a chance to look at Zillow's take on it. And Zillow's take is, look man, let's kind of date a little bit before we get married. But one of the things that came up to me is this touring agreement in compliance with what realtors have to actually do based on the settlement. Because realtors saying we need to get buyer's agreements from our buyer's agents. And now Zillow is saying fill out this touring agreement. And now guys, even if you're not a Zillow Premier agent or if you're not affiliated with Zillow, this is just creating another confusion in the marketplace. Because the buyer's gonna say, okay, I got this touring agreement with Zillow, which basically allows the person to show homes and you hope they're gonna sign a buyer's agreement approved by the National Association of Realtors. Or you got to say, hey, I can't, even though you gave me that, I need you to sign this, which actually binds us and protects us from a liability perspective, but more importantly, make sure we get paid. I think one of the things that's going to happen, guys, is that it's becoming too hard to show a freaking house. At the end of the day, for years, we've just kind of done this stuff and operated by faith. But I think this touring agreement is going to end up making it worse for realtors. We all know the standing that Zillow has. And I think if National Association of Realtors is smart, either you see if the government will allow the touring agreement to be approved and you adopt that, because if Zillow is making that adjustment, everybody's going to say, once I sign this, I don't want to sign nothing else. If all of a sudden people see a house on Zillow and they believe that touring agreement is all they need, that has really put the realtor in an even worse position. So why am I saying this, guys? I think Zillow needs to decide what it wants to be. Are you partnering with buyers and sellers, or are you partnering with the agents that represent them? Because I think this touring agreement is going to cause a lot of problems. To be honest, it would just be easier to say, hey, look, you know what? I tell you what, I'll show you the house, or I'll show you the house, and we can decide if you want to make an offer, and we can get all the paperwork signed and backdated, whatever you want to do. Just make it easier to get the process started. Because I'm already seeing these things as roadblocks. So I think this touring agreement is just another step for Zillow to protect itself. Nobody's looking out for the actual agent who has to actually deal with the fallout of all of this, man. I think it's crazy. You know, if somebody comes to me with a touring agreement and wants to see the house, now I got to make sure that it's compliant with the National Association of Realtors. And guys, guess what? The moment I show them the house, let's just say they say, okay, well, I've seen the house. Let me look to see who the listing agent is. Because if they've signed a touring agreement, they already know who the listing agent is. Once you say they won't screw me out of that deal and just call the listing agent directly and want to deal with the listing agent so they can quote unquote save money. I mean, guys, this thing is getting big. The VA just allowed buyers to be able to pay their buyer's agent. And I just don't see a lot of people knocking down the door to pay the buyer's agent. So you guys let me know what you thinking, man. Is Jeff crazy or is Jeff onto something? Do you think this touring agreement is good for realtors? Or do you think it's the biggest issue realtors are going to have? Because we know Zillow is the king of all buyers and where buyers go. And again, I don't see Realtor doing anything like that. So I know if Zillow is doing it, you know, it's going to end up having to be either accepted, or Realtor's going to have to come out and give us some guidance on that. Y'all get down in the comment section and let me know what you think about it, man. If you hadn't already, again, mash that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell for notifications. Take care, everybody. Talk to you soon.